Steve, back to you again.
Sure.
Tueleze, many Kenyans watching this broadcast tonight would want to know, when exactly did you go to Saudi Arabia?
That was April 1996. That was the first time I went to Saudi Arabia. And I went on a working visa, and that's where I started from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you applied for the normal visa?
Just a normal working visa.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you applied for work, or what did you go to do there specifically?
Actually, there was a restaurant that needed somebody to do their computing for them. Mm-hmm. So I happened to get a visa, and I had to go through the Ministry of Labor, and then I finally ended up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So nothing as we witnessed today of the agents and Kenyans who are duped, taken to the Gulf countries, Qatar, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates. So yours was procedural?
Mine actually passed through the Ministry of Labor, because when it doesn't pass through the Ministry of Labor, that's when you have all these problems that you're hearing about, about people being duped and all this. So even the agencies, as we call them, there are those good agencies, and there are those that I may call they're just there by name, you know? Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, you find that the moment that person takes the plane out, first plane out, the agent's mobile number is off. So, and there are those genuine ones, you know? And once there's anything, that's when you'll find that you have problems that are coming about with the people that are going out that did not follow the proper procedures. Like, for example, we'll find that the people who went through the Ministry of Labor, they are also recorded at our various embassies in the kingdom. So they know where you are. Even if you're in trouble, you can go to them. But if you have gone in any other way, you are not registered. So how will you go to them? Yeah. You know? So it's one of those things here.
Okay. 1996. So when the request came through on the need for someone with the portfolio that you had applied for was made, did you study for that? What was your level of education? And at that time, did you have the requisite qualification and the skills that were required?
What they required actually was somebody familiar with computing. And I had done that, you know, in packages. I had done, not like studied in depth, but I had those packages that were required for the job, you see. So that's how I ended up getting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the time, you went to college, or you were a high school leaver, or?
Well, I was a high school leaver, but I passed through a college for the packages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you met all the requirements?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So let's come to what then undoubtedly had made your family have some harrowing experiences, as you did in the kingdom.
Yeah.
Tell us what really happened.
Yeah, that's a good one. You know, actually, this tragedy that happened was something that I cannot even tell how it came about, because, for one, this Abdul Halim was a very good friend of mine. And we used to work together. At that time, in the restaurant, we were working for under the accounts department. But I was that time the warehouse manager. Yeah. And he was dealing with the petty cash and all, you know. So we were very good colleagues. And we even related out, you know. I even remember at one time, under the same company, we had another project, the amusement park. So I happened also to hold the warehouse there for some time. And the Abdul Halim had 2 wives.
Yeah.
The first wife was a Thailand national. And she had a daughter. And I remember very well, Susan, I used to hold her in my hands, you know. So whatever transpired thereafter is really something that hurt me so much, because I never, ever thought that somebody could die from my hands, you know. This friend of mine, we happened to have a misunderstanding. And as it happened to be my first ever fight in my life. I've never been known to be a fighter. Maybe my mama can't even testify even that, you know. I've always been known to be like a peacemaker, you know. So when it came to this day, you know, we had a misunderstanding, and which ended up in a fight. And thereafter it escalated until there were some stabbings, but which were not, of course, it was not of intent, you know. It was just, and actually the main cause of his death was actually not from the stabbing, from the wound. The doctor's report says that he delayed to go to hospital, so he lost a lot of blood. So it was just by mistake, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when did that happen? Which year?
That was in 2011, the night of 9th April.
So that is exactly 16 years after you went to Saudi Arabia.
Yes, to be precise.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll ask you more details about then, because you said it wasn't intentional, your behavior, as well as which you said your mom can then corroborate, of course at school level as well, before you went to Saudi Arabia. So provide us more details on then, other than the stabbing, how did the conflict start? What do you remember about it, or was the kick-starting point? And other than the stabbings, were there other injuries inflicted on Abdul Halim, who was a Yemeni national, we understand?
Actually, it was salary related. I was supposed to go and collect my salary, but he was like, you know, not willing to let me go, you know. So I ended up getting angry, and then he used words that were not very good, and I could not take them. So we started a fight, and actually he's the one that started it, actually, because I have a stab on my hand and on my thigh. So that's how it went about. But really it was not, I feel, you know, if I had that patience, you know, I lacked that patience at that time, and really it's something like, even when they told me that Abdul Halim had passed on, I could not believe it, you know. I could not really believe it, because I was like, how? Me? No, you know. So it's one of those things. And by the way, even as I was taken to hospital, because I was taken to the hospital for my wounds, and in a space of like the distance or the time to from the accommodation to the hospital was like 7 minutes. And can you believe it? I took 2 pints of glucose just between the accommodation and the hospital, of which the doctor said, had I delayed a bit longer, I would not be here today.
So you lost a lot of blood?
Exactly.
So the fighting happened where?
Yeah. At our working place.
At our working place.
Yes, it was at our working place.
Yeah. And that is at the office?
Yes.
And where did the knife come from?
Actually, so it was his, you know.
Yeah.
It was his, yeah. That is how it came about.
He fetched from the kitchen or?
No, he had it in the office. Even we have a security officer that was in charge of the amusement park that testified too. Several times having seen him with a knife, but he said he was using it to open cartons related to stationery and all these things. Yes.
So it was his knife after the stabbings, then you used the same?
Yes, after he used it on me, I used it on him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So twice, that is here in the hand?
On the hand and on the thigh. Yes.
So 2 stab wounds?
Yes.
How about him?
Just one.
And one.
Yeah.
Okay. Where?
It was on the chest. Okay. Yeah. It was on the chest.
So we'll talk more. What happened there? How did the authorities get involved? The court process?
Yeah.
The jails? The conditions there? We'll talk more about that and your journey to Islam as well.
Okay.
Coming to you, Mama Dorothy. Again, lovely having you here on the bench. The last time you were here with my senior and colleague Jeff Koinange, and it's at this point that that campaign had gotten the momentum it so needed. When did you hear about Steve-O's predicaments, and what was the moment like at the time?
It was traumatic. It was 3 days later. That was on Tuesday. I remember exactly. It was Tuesday around 8 a.m. Yeah. And it was the 12th of April. Yeah. And as I say, it was traumatic because the message was relayed by my first cousin, yeah, who said that the news we are getting from Saudi is that Steve-O fought with his colleague and he's dead. Now, for me, my mind traced to my son being dead. It was only 3 hours later that his brother, who was here in the earlier program, came and asked, "Mom, what exactly did you hear?" Because what I'm getting is that it is the other party who died. Yeah. And that only accelerated my my anxiety because I knew for a fact that having somebody dead on his hands spelled doom on him. Yeah.
Okay. What then did you do next? Who did you engage?
Did I engage? I went to Foreign Affairs to find out if they were aware of this. Yeah. And they were. And at that time we were having a funeral in the family, in my daughter's matrimonial family. And so since the burial was just 4 days away, I thought that before I go to Saudi to find out what is happening, we need to give honor to the bereaved family by participating in the funeral, and then I would pursue the Steve-O issue. Yeah.
Afterwards, did you go to Saudi Arabia?
Never.
Never.
Up to now.
Initially, you had planned.
I had plans, and I guess they'll never happen. Yeah, because my desire all along was, one, to see my son, you know, as one does. We know that when your person is in the cell, you go and see them, you want to hear what exactly happened from the horse's mouth, yeah? Not a quick phone call that is facilitated by the administration. You want to go there physically. But above all,
Yeah.
more than seeing my son, I wanted to see the widow of the bereaved, whom I knew even before, you know, when he was reporting to me that this has happened. Because we did talk later, he called from the police station. I knew that I needed to talk to the widow and offer my condolences, offer my deep regret over what had happened. Yeah.
Okay. Ken, at what point did you start the campaign, Bring Back Steve-O?
Yeah, it was sometimes last year, and Mom called me, sent me a message at 4 a.m. And I had my phone, a message coming to my phone at 4. And there was a message. I'm telling me, son, Mom calls me son.
Yeah.
She brought me up in the newsroom. Yeah. Now, in this transition, I've become what she calls a son she never got from her womb. Yeah. And she told me, in that message was that I said something that I've kept in my heart for close to 13 years. It's something that has chewed into our system. And I immediately woke up and went to the sitting room and I read the message several times before I called her back. And 14 years holding on to that pain was something for me very difficult to fathom at that time. But even the more astounding was thing that it came, the message, I imagined she had not slept for her to send me that message at 4 a.m. So I woke up, after I waited until morning and I called her back. I said, Mom, what is this? She said, that is what has happened. And very quickly, as her colleagues, on the chairman, Mr. Joe Dindo, who became our chairman, Pamela Sitoni, and there's Henry Maina, there's Dr. Njuku Motia, and all of us got together and said, we need to take up this matter and begin the campaign. Then we started the meetings then and strategizing on what to do. Because the amount of money that was being the dear was, it's amount of money that as an editor, I've only edited in figure and on paper. I've never handled it. It was just mind-blowing. So we said, here it is, 150 million. It's money we have to raise. How do we do this? First, we all went and said, we have to pass the message to Kenyans. Mm-hmm. We used our good skills and connections and said, we have got to get the story out to Kenyans. This is a Kenyan who is out there and needs our help. Even when we said it is difficult, but it's worth trying. Yeah. Raising the 150. But then we were counting on the good feelings of Kenyans and the giving nature, and we said, let's put our best foot forward. Luckily, all our media colleagues bought the idea, and for the first time, all media people wrapped their fingers around this, embraced Mama, and ran with the campaign. And I can only say thank you to our media people and the thousands of Kenyans, some giving as low as a shilling towards Steve-O's release. So the campaign went through the year. We had a deadline of the first scheduled execution was around June. And we had 3 months to work towards to rescue him. I remember the many nights, twice a week, sitting and planning and raising. We did an Arambe, we did appeals. June came, we said, this is it, we have not raised any money. This is whatever was raised was just a minuscule amount.
Yeah. So what was the channel of communication?
Through media, we used social media, but also used direct contact to people that we knew, and just appeals. And then writing the stories. I remember going to several media houses, including JKL, where it was one of those very phenomenal nights. Yeah. One night, we just raised close to 5 million. Sitting here on this bench. And the response was, we went to all the media houses, we did stories, we did write-ups, and we also did messages. And we also learned in our team to do TikTok. we had some people volunteering to teach us how to pass messages on TikTok. And we used every available channel to reach out to people. We wrote letters, sought appeals, and those appeals, I think that worked. So fast forward, that execution date was held, and we're given November. Come November, we had not raised the money, and that's the time we waited and prayed, saying, probably the widow would say, give me what you have, and we throw it.
So you were in direct touch with her?
Through the ambassador. Our ambassador in Riyadh, the PS, and all the official government channels. That's what they were close contact, and they kept the communicating. They got to talking, and we never talked to her directly, but we had phenomenal staff there talking to.
Okay, right. Because there's a lot in that regard of then how you further engaged the family of Abdul Halim Mujahid Makrat Saleh, and you will tell us more about how then our ambassador there in Riyadh and the team embarked on the journey until it reached the point that it had to be again postponed. And you are listening to the Arabian miracle of 51-year-old Stivo Abdul Karim Munyaho, who was on a death row in Saudi Arabia. And you have heard how it all started when he went to Saudi Arabia. His mother and one of the campaigners bring back Stivo home, who is with us, Ken, here, and more accounts as to what happened next, especially after he was admitted at hospital for medical attention.